had one small change. Dottie's not feeling well, and she's not going to be continuing with us for the remainder of the debate. She's fine. Everything's being taken care of. Nobody panic. She's a nurse, so I wasn't taking care of her. Don't worry. But she's not going to be continuing, so obviously we're going to roll with the punches like Democrats know how to do, okay? And we're going to let our candidates learn how to roll with the punches as well a little bit. And we're going to change some of the questions with who's going with who. So please just bear with us. So welcome back our candidates to the stage, please.
Round 2 focuses on the environment. Question 1 submitted by the Sierra Club. And we begin with TJ and Mateo. What role can you play in Congress to advocate for and support sustainable energy policies? And what would you include in those policies? Begin with TJ, 2 minutes.
Over here. No, that is a great question, and that is one of my passions. The fact is that clean energy and sustainability, we were talking about that around my family's dinner table when I was 10 years old. My dad was a hydrogen clean energy researcher just across the hill at Livermore. My background's in chemical engineering, and I had patented a method to abate acid mist out of electrowinning tank houses when I was working in that field. But today, with my community development work, it's even better. Last year, we funded the North Fork Bioenergy Plant, which was an award-winning plant, not because it's just taking dead trees from the Sierras and turning those into clean energy, but it's employing a technology called BECCS, which some of you may know as a biomass energy carbon capture storage. Because what's important in the world and for climate change is not just to reduce or mitigate the carbon in our atmosphere, but we actually have to decrease the carbon in our atmosphere. All the models and algorithms and climate scientists, in order for our environment, for our climate, not to go over 2 more degrees in centigrade, we need to take carbon out of the environment. And so that's what we've been focusing on. There's another project that we're focusing on that's just fantastic as well. It's actually the first zero net energy farm in the state and really across the world. These are farms that take biomass and they turn them into biodiesel and other forms of biofuel and solar, and they totally reclaim all of their water. So I know we need to finish up there, but these are the technologies that we need to be focusing on right here in the Central Valley. There's no reason why the Central Valley shouldn't be the world leader in sustainable technology, and that's what we'll all fight for.
Thank you. Mateo, 2 minutes.
I fully support environmental conservation and a real commitment to support clean, renewable energy. The solar industry is growing while the coal industry is offset by the use of natural gas. I support an all-of-the-above strategy to get to 100% renewables, and we must get off of foreign oil. That's the first step. That's something that people in Congress have been fighting for years, and we need to follow through with it. We need to create bad boy laws to prohibit polluters from obtaining government contracts. We need water pilot projects, conservation, gray water systems, stormwater capture, and focus on regional self-sufficiency for our energy and our water plans. Because the reality is that pumping damages our local water supplies like the Delta. It means less water for fishing, salinity will move east, it affects wildlife, farming, drinking water, and it does affect our quality of life, whether it's leisure or economic opportunities. Instead of focusing on source reduction, what we do with pollution, just like with housing, is we just move it somewhere else, make it somebody else's problem. We can't keep doing that because that's why we're here. Look where we're at. The truth is, water is life, and carbon and foreign oil and renewables are basically resources that we have to prioritize the way that they're used. We can't focus on a race to the bottom strategy as our leaders do now. Once again, I hate repeating it, but it is time for some common sense solutions, and putting off fixing something only costs 10 times more. Thank you.
TJ, rebuttal for 1 minute.
The fact of the matter is, if we don't do something right now, we're all going to drown or burn or starve. We really are. But here's another project that that we're working on, which frankly, it needs the government support. And that's what the GOP doesn't want to do. They want to give all the money to, tax cuts for the wealthy, instead of investing it into new nascent technologies. But there's another dairy that we're working on, 1,600 milking head. But this dairy is going to recapture all the methane gases, which is equivalent to taking 3,700 cars off the road. One dairy. And that dairy also uses 1 million gallons of water a day. They're going to reclaim 90% of that water. And that's equivalent to 18,000 homes. And so if you put this technology into 5 dairies, that's enough water for the entire city of Tracy.
Thank you. Mateo, 1 minute.
I will say the threat of death is a great scare tactic. I didn't know we were the party that did that. But what will happen if we don't address climate change is we will continue to have some of the worst air pollution in the country. The American Lung Association gives us an F grade for high ozone days and particle pollution and even our asthma levels. That's something many people in the audience know what I'm talking about. Just to make a last point about whether it's global warming or ozone depletion. So chlorofluorocarbons, which were addressed at the UN years ago, and basically a profit-making scheme was used to address it. That's what caused ozone depletion and weakens our immune systems, gives us cataracts, blindness, and causes increases of cancer. Greenhouse gases, what causes global warming, climate change, climate chaos, call it what you will, is what raises the sea level and causes tropical storms and coral bleaching. Thank you.
Thank you very much.